You guys ever see The Revenant? If you haven't, don't worry, I've got a synopsis for you right here. It's in the form of Jalen Carter versus the Rams, where he had 7 total QB pressures and 2 sacks, one of which came in a crazy, crazy sequence at the end of the game. And we'll get started off early, where you'll note the weather looks beautiful. It's always sunny in Philadelphia, especially when you're running an ET game and you lift the quarterback up in the air. Matt Stafford, remember, has rib injuries. And Jalen Carter doing what has become a signature move of his. He did this in college versus Jaden Daniels. Foreshadow much? I will call him my own, George, but this is the great part. This is the technique side of things. You can see Jalen Carter is rushing like he's rushing that A-gap. The guard is thinking, oh, I totally got this guy one-on-one. Jalen Carter is committing to the bit, which gives Nolan Smith time to come inside, pick the guard, and then Jalen Carter, with his freakish athletic ability to his size, is able to just complete the deal. Really nice play. Again, you can see it from this angle. Steps out, steps in, and you can see the guard there is still thinking about the potential game, but that inside step gets his attention back inside, and he's just not quick enough to get back to it. But his ability to turn the corner like that at his size is it's just weird, man. You are my trinket now. I own you, Matt Stafford. Gentle dusting of snow on the field. That's beautiful. You might think, oh, boy, does it look like he's freelancing there? No, it does not. Because you've got pressure coming. That means his responsibility is to slant this way to even the pass rush out. But by his stance, it doesn't necessarily look like that. And as the center and guard plan on, hey, we're going to combo block this guy into oblivion, you pull the chair out from underneath him. And he doesn't make the play here, obviously, but I just admired the footwork. It's something that Vic Fangio taught me to do back when he was my coach, and I loved Vic Fangio for it. He gave you so many little tricks and tools of the trade for a defensive lineman who, in a scheme that doesn't have you jetting upfield all the time, you still have the potential to make a lot of plays in the backfield because of the toolkit that Vic Fangio gives you if you listen to it and if you take advantage of it, and Jalen Carter clearly is. Cool thing here is, again, it's not like he's slanting directly to that A-gap. He's fronting the guard up, but then gains so much ground with that right foot and clears space to get upfield. Incomplete pass pressure. Jalen Carter in a 4-eye. Actually has his hand swiped initially, but he fights to get back to that B-gap. And then watch this big old Revenant bear paw. Bah! Like he stole Leonardo DiCaprio's spleen. Scoop and spin and run through the frozen tundra of Philadelphia. Here it is from this angle. There's some really impressive hand-eye coordination there. Head up on the offensive guard this time. Another thing about Vic is that sometimes it looks like you're aligned like you're going to 2-gap where you actually do have a responsibility, but it makes it easier for the linebackers to react off of you when you're soaking up a block first. But to make plays in this system, you're not as advantaged as you are if you're in a scheme where guys are lined up right here and they just hit it. You got to earn your money through technique and savvy. Or blitzing. Hits his responsibility to front up the center, but then sees his window and forced bad pass. More of a 3 technique here. And across the face again. It's a little bit of a later developing blitz, but man, just gets across the face of the center really quick. That was a completion. But a lot of this is setting up what we're going to see at the end of the game, which is freakishly good and scary. Whereas the center and the guard trying to anticipate, when are they blitzing, when are they slanting? It put these offensive linemen's brains into a blender. Turned their brains into liquid and ran out their ears. 3 technique again. Starts off looking like a blitz, but it wasn't. Sack. This is the second to last play of the game. And by now, the offensive line was anticipating blitz because Fangio blitzed way more than he typically does. Obviously, a miscommunication between the guard and the center here. And I know most people are blaming the center. I think there's room to acknowledge that the pass protection rules were a little bit different for how they were handling Jalen Carter, but somebody done screwed up because The center turns back to look for the other apparently slanting defensive tackle, but you leave the most dangerous guy out there all alone, and he just envelops him because now the bear has a taste for blood. You never want the bear to have a taste for blood. Human blood, at least, especially human blood. So watch this next play. This very next play, I thought my computer or program was screwed up and showed me the same damn thing happens. There he totally gets the center. Incomplete pass, game over. He's just so big, but fast. It's like when you find out a rhinoceros can run 48 miles per hour or whatever, and you're like, I don't know if I believe that or can visualize it. But then you turn on Discovery Channel, and there you go. That's a rhino.